See him back out there. I mean, I think if you're in this league long enough, you'll sustain a serious enough injury that requires you to miss some time, and so you know how it feels to have to be away from the team and the rehab and everything that he's been through. So to have him back out during the court today as part of the group, I think definitely was a very positive thing for the team and most importantly for him.
Did you have a chance to check him out, how he was running up and down the court and maybe jostling with some guys?
No, I heard some things about how I heard he looked comfortable, and that he looked confident. And in particular with lower extremity injuries, that's probably 95% of the battle. When you're coming off of a knee or an ankle type injury, is really having the confidence that the joint or the injury is going to hold up. So from what I heard, he looked confident. He looked as though he felt comfortable out there. But I don't think anybody's going to get ahead of themselves, and I don't think he is either. Considering what he's been through, I think he should take every day possible to make sure that when he comes back, he can stay there.
Although, of course, he says he wants to play tomorrow if they play.
that sounds familiar. It's a typical mentality oftentimes of of a lot of our guys that you remember how far you come, and he remembers going out in January, February, and how much better he feels compared to then, and so he feels like he's ready to go. But no matter what you do, it's very difficult to simulate real game activities, and the more practices and the more opportunity that he gets to really mix it up and then not have the side effects of major soreness or swelling. I think that timing will be better, but we're all hopeful it's within the next couple weeks.
When you were in your 20s, do you remember that weeks felt like months and months were like years if you were injured?
Yeah, but in your 30s, they really feel like weeks feel like definitely like months, and months feel like years. But yeah, no, things go so fast, when you're younger in the league, and so it does seem like it's going, taking longer for things to happen because they're going so fast. You're processing so many different thoughts in your mind, and when you have injuries and things that you're dealing with, it takes you through a number of different thought processes, and for it to be 2 years in a row, for Andrew to sustain major injuries of that type, I can only imagine the questions that he's asked himself. Because you never know if that's it. And when you have a knee injury, or for me it was right foot and major surgery and out for 6 months, and you're constantly questioning, can I recover from this? And you're telling yourself you can, but until you do, you don't know. So for an athlete, that's completely foreign territory to feel like you don't know if you're going to be able to play again. And so it takes you through a number of different emotions and thoughts, but being back a part of our group, I think will help him deal with those thoughts, to feel like you're part of the team, kind of helps take off a lot of that pressure.
Derek, if I recall, when you came back, you shot something like 85% from three-point range. Does that mean when Andrew comes back, he's going to be shooting like 85% from the field?
Yes. Yes. From three, 100%. He'll be 0 for 0.
You guys, last year the line on the Lakers, the other common knock was the whole soft thing and this and that. You beat Houston 4 times this year, beat Boston twice, Cleveland twice. Is some of that put to bed? You guys think you can handle that kind of physical work now than you might have 18 months ago?
I just think we know how to play as a team better now. We're still not the bad boys of Detroit, or we're not the Celtics of the 80s. We're not those teams that are going to go out there and try to fight our way, by physically punching teams into winning. The system that we believe in requires execution, and it requires a type of thought and efficiency in thought that you can't operate under with anger. For us, it's about knowing how to play the game, and I think having a full training camp with Powell and having a healthy Trevor Ariza and the development of Josh Powell and Jordan's continued development, and Sasha, and then even DJ Mavinga contributing. Those are things that last year we were still figuring out how to plug in, and we just feel like we know a lot more about each other and how to come together when the pressure is even at its highest point. And I think we responded better in those situations, but I don't think we carry any thoughts of having to prove to everybody that we're tougher than somebody else. I think the results, tell more about who you are than actually what you try and show out there.
Phil said after the game that one thing you guys still have to work on in that regard is that looking too much at the refs after contact and looking at the whistles and not playing through. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you can only have your head coach or maybe your captains, really dealing directly with officials and talking to them on a regular basis. So otherwise, they start to tune you and everybody else on the team out, and that just makes things even more difficult. So, it was something that we talked about actually, last year at one point when as a group we felt like it got a little bit out of hand, and we addressed it with each other and, tried to nip it in the bud. And I feel like we did a pretty good job of it. And so hopefully, if we feel like that's necessary this year, and obviously Phil thinks that already, we'll address it definitely going into the postseason.